again. This is Michelle for Angels, Fairies, and Witches.
And I'm the co-host, Laura.
Welcome. Thank you for letting us into your house today. We're winding down with the month of February, so that means spring is right around the corner. But this is kind of indicative of that card in the tarot. It's the Nine of Wands, and it depicts a man carrying 9 wands. And you could see he's kind of trudging, and it's drudgery. But the idea behind this card is just summon up all your energy and push a little more, and then it'll be easy. So I'd like to talk today about just different things just to get us over the final hump of winter and into spring.
Well, we wrapped up our last episode talking about finding your life's purpose. And since I have left the nursing home industry, I've really embraced my healing abilities, and specifically as a Reiki master. And I know that this is shown for the entire month of February, but we do tape them all in one session. So you've probably noticed that my voice may sound different, or I've had a cough.
And we're in the same clothes.
That's true. That's true. I have to say that I did come down with a bug that's been going around just about everywhere and with everybody, and I spend a lot of time out into the public, so I'm sure that probably didn't help my catching this bug. But I have to say that I spent a lot of time when I first got ill Reikiing myself, because it's possible to perform Reiki on yourself. And
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay. What I know about you and your Reiki practice is that when you perform a healing ritual for somebody, you really ground, you center, you're acting as a conductor for universal energy. It's coming through you and out there. How can you perform Reiki on yourself? You couldn't perform Reiki on somebody if you were sick. In the same vein, I could not do mediumship or some of my spell work for people if I was sick or haven't had a bad day or crabby. To do the things that we do, which everybody can do, and we give classes on it, our energy has to be at the highest level possible. So how is it possible for you to perform Reiki on yourself if you're sick?
Well, you can actually perform Reiki whether you're sick or not. It's just not going to be as effective because you're drawing the energy in through your crown chakra, and if you're all congested and clogged with a sinus infection, the energy's going to have to battle its way through that to get to where it comes to my heart, and then comes out the meridians of my arms and out my palms of my hand. But it's still possible. And in fact, I find that when I begin and I call upon the energies of the universe, I find myself clearing up quite quickly. I can't make it disappear overnight by any means, but I certainly believe I shortened the duration and the ill effects and was able to function. I mean, there was a couple days I was pretty ill, but I think it could have lasted a lot longer if I hadn't Reiki'd myself. And like I said, we all have that ability.
That's I'm glad you said that. We all do have all of these abilities, okay? If you think about the spiritual world and the gifts that we have and the abilities. Do I have chocolate on my mouth?
No.
Are you sure?
Did you drink?
No, do I? She won't tell me.
Did you drink some of that Coke?
No, I was having a piece of dark chocolate in between break. You sure I'm good? Okay, thank you.
I wouldn't let you do that. You really think I would let you do that?
Yes, I do. So if you think about, you know how there are doctors, and doctors go to basically the same medical school, but then they can specialize, the neurologist, the cardiologist,
the rheumatologist,
the ist. Okay, well, in terms of spirituality, and it's in the Bible, I'm quoting the Bible. I'm not quoting it. I don't know where it is, but it's in there somewhere. In fact, the only quote that I know is Ecclesiastics, to everything there is a season. And also in Exodus, 18 verse 1 and 2, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Nice, right? And then they always say, well, it used to be sorceress, and they changed it to witch. Anyway, but in the Bible somewhere it says that we all have the ability to prophesize, that's to see into the future. We all have the ability to heal, and we all have the ability to manifest. So that's bringing about into your life whatever you want. We can all prophesize, heal, and manifest. So, but we when we were talking about our life purposes, we picked the path. Maybe it was things that we did in past lives. It's just the thing we're most comfortable with. In this particular incarnation, which really had better be our last, I'm just damn tired of this human existence, let me tell you. You've chosen to go the healing modality way, whereas I chose to go the talking with dead people, doing spells way. But just the other day, she wasn't around, and I had gotten in, you know, I do kitten rescue, and I had gotten in 4 cute little kittens that all had ringworm. Now, for those of you out there that don't know what ringworm is, oh my God, it sucks. It's highly contagious. It can go from animals. See, if a cat has a cold, a human won't catch it. But if a cat has ringworm, you better believe a human can catch it. It just spreads like wildfire. And the cure is very difficult. The only known cure, really, is the specially formulated, slightly toxic chemical that the kittens, and you have to be so careful it's not in their eyes or their mouth or their nose. You have to dip them twice a week for 8 weeks. I mean, it's endless. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this is wrong. I can't have gotten in these kittens that have this ringworm that can infect me, my children, and my 6 cats. I can't delay the 8 weeks because really kittens have to be, I find, adopt them out at 6, 7 weeks. Otherwise, they kind of lose their cuteness. So I thought, man, I'm stuck. What am I going to do? And she was, of course, busy. But I remembered that even though in this lifetime I am not the healer, I still have the ability. So you've got to believe you can do this.
It's all.
I don't think people believe us when we say, you can learn to heal. You can learn to speak to departed loved ones. You can learn to do potions and crafts. You can learn to manifest great, amazing things in your life.
As long as you believe it.
And so what I did is, and it wasn't right away, I had to kind of take a shower and glass of wine, get myself, you know, settled. And I called upon Archangel Raphael. He's the healer. I called upon the Egyptian goddess Bast. She's often featured with a cat's head because in Egypt they revered cats as being sacred. Called upon a couple of other gods, goddesses, angels, fairies, anything I could think of. And then a funny thing happened. I got the kittens and a little incense, a little candle, and then I got cocky. And I went from, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, what am I going to do, to, I got this. Oh, yes, I do. I got this. I am a 7th generation witch. I am going to knock this ringworm out of the park. Now, I don't know if it happened right away because I kind of didn't want to go back and check. But the next time I looked at them, which was a day or 2 later, it was gone. So,
and if she knew who to call upon, but if you don't know who to call upon, the right person will show up. The right entity
yep.
or
and more than one,
angel,
I'm sure,
or whoever will show up as long as you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
You have to ask.
Yeah.
You have to ask for their help.
That's kind of the bitch of it. You got to ask because they don't want to interfere with our free will. So, and again, it doesn't have to be so devotional or any special words. Just kind of a help.
You know. But they're not going to give you the lottery number, so don't ask for that.
No, they're not.
No, that's not what they do.
Well, let's talk about some of the classes that we've given, because people have called, and we really need to kind of coordinate. We haven't done a lecture series in a while, so we're a little due. We've both gotten busy with our own lives, but yeah, we need to look to do that. we could teach people how to heal themselves and others, and ringworm in kittens.
Use of crystals.
Use of crystals, that's a good one. Different divination tools, tarot cards, pendulum, crystal ball. People say to me they don't believe that they have the ability to speak to their departed loved ones. Now, I'll tell you how this works. This is at least how I think. Remember years and years ago, there was that guy who owned the restaurant, whose name I forgot. I don't know.
Metropolitan?
Yeah. His wife had passed away from cancer, and I think actually when she had first gotten sick, he was an older gentleman, but that's when he really got very spiritual. And at his restaurant, which was an Italian restaurant, even after she passed, he would have certain guest speakers come. One time he had Robert Hansen, who's kind of like a big deal out on Long Island. He actually wanted me to do Psychic Thursdays, but honestly, people would come in, it would be a price fixed meal, and then they would get 15 minutes with me, and I felt like a prostitute. It was wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's for some of you out there, but it wasn't for me. And my point about him is that the last conversation I had with him, it was shortly after Anna Nicole Smith had died. Remember her, that gorgeous, voluptuous Playboy and
model? Just
a tragic life, and I'm pretty sure it was a drug overdose, I think. And, everybody was, well, okay, they weren't really all that surprised, but it was sad because she had just had this little baby and whatever. And he told me that in his own private metaphysical practice, he spoke to Anna Nicole Smith, and this was about 3 days after she died, she wanted him to know that she was doing fine. I don't think it works that way, okay? I'm sorry. I think once Anna Nicole Smith died, she had other things to do rather than travel all the way to Queens and tell this restaurant owner that she's doing fine. I have never made contact with a famous person. Well, I've never tried, okay? Maybe, who would I want to try? Liberace. I'd like to talk to him.
Elvis.
I don't really believe Elvis is dead, so no. It's just my philosophy. Then again, I don't think Jim Morrison is. Oh, speaking of Jim Morrison. Okay, all right. Well, here's the thing. I know I'm making fun of this restaurant owner that Anna Nicole Smith came to him and said, hey, psst, doing okay. We have a fan who's called me a few times. I'm not going to reveal her name, but she's wonderful and she's lovely and she's joyful. And she is pretty sure that whenever she's upset, confused about what to do, anxious, whatever, that she receives messages from Jim Morrison, who is the, well, this is more your vintage. Was he a singer?
Yeah.
I know it's the Doors, but I didn't know if he was a singer, okay? And that he's communicating with her. And the first time she and I were on the phone and she was telling me this, I kind of did the WTF? You know what that stands for, right? But then she went on to explain. It's not like she's sitting here and Jim Morrison's sitting here saying, hey, here's what you need to do. Here's how you need to handle it. She'll hear a song on the radio. Most likely it's a Doors song. I just know Light My Fire. But obviously there's more than that. And it'll be something in the song lyrics that will be the advice that she needs, the reassurance she needs, the emotional support she needs. And that's something that we've talked about.
Sure.
Clairaudience, clear hearing. Not every song on the radio is going to have meaning, but if you play this little game and you've got a problem and you verbalize it, let's say you're in your car and you have the radio on, just say, okay, you know what? Again, whoever, talk to your departed loved ones, talk to your angels, your guardian angels, goddesses, fairies, spirit guides, joy guides. Yep. Man, there's a lot up there.
Yeah.
And just say, okay, the third song on the radio, let this be an answer for me. And that's what this woman was saying, that she hears these lyrics. She's made this Doors connection.
Sure.
And this is how she gets her answers.
I actually have something similar, Kansas.
Kansas what?
The group Kansas.
Kansas?
Carry On, Wayward Son.
Oh, I thought that was those Crosby
no,
and...
No.
Not Bill... No, it's Cosby.
There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Whenever I get in a difficult situation and I'm emotionally upset, 9 times out of 10 that song will come on the radio.
And I've got one too.
Made that connection.
I've got one too. My Stephen, as I refer to him all the time, died 9/11, and the song that I believe he's the one orchestrating is the "Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier." So I hope you know what we're talking about instead of us just doing bad karaoke here.
Very bad karaoke.
Very bad karaoke.
But
well, we're good singers, not really just like this. You know what we should do? We should jam with our producer. That would be fun.
It really does. It really does work. And I'm sure that if you stop and think about it, you'll probably notice that there has been some correlation with something going on.
We have another friend, Maria, who had adopted one of my cats. And Maria's mom passed away some time ago. I think it was almost like 15 years ago. And, you know, she went through a string of some bad relationships and what have you. But she was always so open to a message from her mother. And in her case, the mother chose, I should really have asked her how this all came to be. But her mother chose to show herself in the form of butterflies and hearts. And the last time I was over at her house, she showed me, which was a cute little ceramic trinket box. And she spilled it out on the table, and she said, this is just what she's collected in the last year or two. And it was the most unusual assortment of paper butterflies, pictures of butterflies, glass butterflies, hearts, some little angel wings. And she knew that was her mother, and it brings her comfort.
And she was really struggling with financial issues. And she said she was walking along, had left her job, and she was walking along, and there was this group of butterflies that just kept flying around her head, and she followed the path of the butterflies, and they landed down at the base of a tree. And when she walked over there, there was $85 on the ground.
Yep.
Yep.
That is
so that was
good
a really cool
story.
story. Your father.
My father.
Your father. That's another fine example.
Yep.
Tell him the story of after the funeral.
Oy. Okay. Yeah. Well, this being February, my dad passed 5 years ago last month. What a wonderful man, beloved by everybody. In his heyday, he was a big deal in the FBI. He was a supervisory special agent. He went on to be a professor at C.W. Post for criminal justice, and everybody loved him. And my father is the reason that I have the great taste in music that I do. Very 50s and 60s, Elvis, who's still alive. I'm not even sure I believe that. Beach Boys, all the doo-wop stuff. And one of his absolute favorite songs was by the Byrds, Turn, 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 To Everything There Is a Season. When he passed away, it was very, very, very sudden. Massive heart attack, but quite frankly, if you got to go, that's probably the way to do it. From start to finish, 30 seconds.
Amen.
And the next few days were a blur. My mother and brother and I had to go and pick out coffins and such, and I got very angry at the guy because I thought he was taking advantage of our grief, trying to sell us the latest model, you know, with the titanium interior. Folks, think about cremation. It's really a lot more money saving, and ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But anyway, came time to pick out the picture and the writing for the... These aren't mass cards. It's the little laminated thing you get at funerals, maybe like a prayer card or something.
Probably.
Yeah. It has the deceased name, birth date, date of passing. And so I was in charge of this. Well, no, my mother being the control freak she is, I was in charge of half of it. And so immediately I found this beautiful beach scene. My father loved the ocean. And then I was looking through all these different scriptures. It was just so religious and so heavy and so somber. And honestly, I was about to give up when all of a sudden I turned, and it was the lyrics to everything. There is a season, time of love, a time of war, a time of peace.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that was in the Bible. I knew it, as one of my father's favorite songs.
Yeah.
And that was just such an oh my God moment. So I got that plus the picture. And then it spanned about 5 or 6 days. There was relatives coming in and so much going on.
And you weren't really grieving.
In general, I'm not a crier. I usually just save that for you.
Thank you.
Enough water works for 10 people. And people were saying to me, but, Michelle, you're not crying. And I said, I will when the time is right. Right now I'm too busy. I have things to do. And at one point I made a run to the grocery store to pick up whatever we needed in the house. And I didn't have my radio on. But somehow when I got back in the car and I turned on the motor, not only was the radio on, oh, lovely, live on camera, and I'm going to get all weepy, and it was the Turn, Turn, Turn song. And I knew 1,000% that was my beloved father just telling me, he always teased me that all the spiritual stuff was a bunch of hooey, but it was very sort of tongue-in-cheek because I know he believed, hell, I get it from his side of the family. So that was absolutely one of my best moments. That was such a powerful sign.
It was pretty incredible, and she shared it with her hetero life mate. She called me up on the phone, and I heard it playing in the background. I couldn't understand a word she was saying because she was sobbing so hard.
Yeah.
But I knew that her father had let her know that everything was
He's
going to be
fine.
okay.
Everything's fine. Sometimes, not like what you see on TV or the movies, certainly. Sometimes the deceased have the energies. Maybe you saw that movie Ghost. Patrick Swayze. They can sometimes be able to manipulate physical objects, not in a creepy kind of way, but if you see like a picture of them kind of askew, it's their way of trying to get your attention. Let's say you're going through a rough time and you're thinking, man, I wish my father was here. I wish my mother was here. I wish my spouse was here. And you notice a picture that has never moved, and all of a sudden it's moved, or it, flies off the wall. It's their way of trying to get your attention and saying, but I'm here,
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys would want to contact John Lennon or something like that. That's what some foolish people do when they do seances. I've mentioned this before, that every Halloween these little stoners will go to the local cemetery and try to raise Harry Houdini from the dead. Oh my God, leave him alone. Leave John Lennon alone. Leave Anna Nicole Smith alone. And Elvis, when he's dead, leave him alone. But you have carte blanche to contact your departed loved ones at any time you want. And if you're sorry, if you wished you had said, I love you more in life, or something you want to get off your chest, even if you feel like you're just talking to yourself, they're there and they're listening. It's kind of like with the angels, with everything else. We always recommend that you do, at least you start out doing these things in the privacy of your home or mentally, because otherwise you kind of look like a crackpot, let's face it.
Sure.
But, talk. Keep talking. Keep the dialogue open. That's the definition of prayer. When you are pouring out your soul to the other side, that's prayer. That's conversation.
Absolutely. You really need to let your loved ones know now, though, how much you care about them. Because even though you're talking to them and letting them know...
You mean when they're alive or they're dead?
Right, when they're alive. Because even though you're talking to them, you're not going to have that comfort in the knowing that they've heard you and understood you, or...
What? Talk to your living
and let them know how much you love them now. Don't wait.
Let them know how pissed you are at them. Don't hold secrets. Whatever your emotion is, get it out.
Right.
Right.
Don't hold anything back. Absolutely. Because then that's when regret and remorse happens, when they do pass away.
And then you think you need a medium, and you don't. But this is kind of the stuff. I could use a little vacation, guys, okay? Do this stuff when you're alive so that you don't think you need a medium when somebody's departed.
That's right.
And regret nothing. I mean, don't do stupid shit. Then that you should regret. But love. What are some of those things? Love.
Live, love, laugh.
Love freely. Laugh often. Live
abundantly.
Abundantly. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
These are some little mantras.
Live your life. Participate in your life. Don't just go through life watching it happen and watching other people live their lives.
You know,
Be
when
a
you're a
part of it.
child, you have to abide by certain rules. You know, your parents, your teachers. As an adult, live your own life. Do what makes you happy. Love who you want. Explore where you want. Do not be fear based. Um, was I saying this episode or last episode? Oh, last, about the purpose.
Yeah.
Find your purpose. If your parents want you to be a doctor, but you really love carpentry, be a carpenter. Hey, Jesus did. It worked out for him. Well, I mean, until the whole thing where they killed him and stuff.
That minor detail.
That minor detail. Um, more. Are we wrapping it up? We are wrapping it up. See, this is the hand signal, like a Christmas present. Wrapping it up, or maybe wrapping.
Well, I hope you found this topic of interest, and please feel free to give us a call at the numbers listed below.
And if there's a topic you want us to talk about, give us a call. Let us know. Sometimes we run out of ideas and then we just babble.
And email us at angelsfairieswitches@gmail.com.
Watch us on YouTube, angelsfairiesandwitches.com. For Angels, Fairies, and Witches, this is Michelle saying, have a wonderful night.
And Laura, be well.